What is up, guys? King of Underworld here, back at you with another part of What If Deku Was Toge Inumaki, Part 5. Before I start, I'm gonna make this bit as short as possible. I'm just gonna say thank you for, for liking the killer part. The first attempt of trying to doing a character hunt. Well, second attempt doing character hunter. Um, so yeah, I'm just glad everybody received it positively, and yeah, and yeah, there's so many ships to gender bend a character. Who knows? If I get my community tab up in time, I'll put a poll if you want me to gender bend a character. But yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Comment down below what you think and if you want to keep seeing more of this series. But anyway, uh, back into the content. So we last left off, where Deku had just gotten a mask made for him, very similar to the one he's wearing in the background. Black mask, very inconspicuous, however it allows him to translate his rice bowl language. So, after he got that mask made so he could talk to people better, he also had an encounter with the League of Villains. In fact, the whole of 1A did. And, well, Deku took it upon himself to, show them their place. As he took them down with sheer ease, and even going into a bit of a rampant, rampant anger outburst as they hurt his friends. And so, that had wrapped up, and Setsuna was, um, bold enough to ask him out on a date. So, they had a fun time, things were going very well, and towards the end, she dropped she dropped a bit of a truth bomb. She said that she liked him and she wanted to go out with him, and Deku agreed. And now that's where we're going to go back straight into into the part. So, we start off with Bakugo and Deku training, panting from all the, all the shit hard exercises they did, as well as use their quirks. He says, I just thought of something. And as Deku puts his mask on, what? You know, whatever you say comes true, right? Yeah, what about it? Why don't you ever just say infinite to on one of your bottles of cough syrup? You don't have to keep buying the stuff. Just the thought. And then he just thinks, what the hell? Why didn't I think of that before? See, you may be smart, but you're not very clever, are you? Both still panting from from the tough exercises. As he, he decides to take out his bottle of cough syrup. He was gonna take a sip of, and said, "Alright then, let's test this out." He turns off the mask and pulls it down and says, "Infinite." As the bottle starts glowing for a second, but then reverts to nothing. As he says, "I don't know if it worked." And Barker just said, "Try pouring it." As he undid the cap and started pouring the bottle. As after 15 seconds, it still kept pouring out and out, and no end in sight. And when he tilted it back, the bottle was still full. Then Barker just said, "Looks like that was a success." As Deku just took a swig and just said, "Salmon." Yep, it definitely was. Alright, no. Let's go home. I think we're done for today. After all, we don't want to tire ourselves out too much. The sports festival's tomorrow. As they both as they both start walking along and part ways, they wave each other off and head to their own homes. They slept comfortably, then arrived the day of the sports festival. As everybody was getting really excited. The crowds were cheering, the news was rolling, and everybody else was getting themselves pumped up. as they said, well, as they said to everybody, um, that to be prepared for a speech, as well, Deku and Bark were speaking to each other, as they were just conversing between them. So, who do you reckon is going to be the guest speaker? I heard it was going to be from one of the classes, but I didn't get told anything about it. You know how Aizawa is, he doesn't like telling people anything. Yeah, you're right about that one. As, well, they just keep speaking as Midnight says, "Will Izuku Midoriya please come to the stand to give a speech?" As, well, Bakugo just had like a wide-eye expression and looked back at Deku and just starts laughing. It's like, oh, why do they choose the man who can't speak properly to... you know what, never mind. Never mind. It's too funny. As Deku just says, shut up. This must be some sort of mistake. As he got up onto the stage and says to Midnight, "I can't speak in front of these guys." Yeah, you can. You don't have to be nervous. It's not the fact I'm nervous. It won't work with my well. It won't work my mask. It's gonna have a screeching distortion. Well, how? Well, try and work something out. As he just says, "Okay, just don't. Just I'll speak clearly without the microphone." Says, "But we're all the way inside of an arena. Trust me, I'll be fine." As he looks at his own hand, well, as he looks at his own hand, then creates like a small eye hole that kids are used to peep, well, wrap around their eyes. As he just says, "Echo." Then his hand starts glowing a bit, as he put it up to his mask and says, "Hello, everybody. My name is Suzuki Midoriya. I'm using my quirk to distribute my voice right now, so please bear with me. I'll keep this as short as possible. I cannot use the microphone as my quirk won't allow me to. So, without further ado, let me begin. As I already told you, my name is Suzuki Midoriya, and I'm part of Class 1A. And we are here to show you today that we are the heroes of tomorrow. We are the ones who are here to inspire. We are the ones to show you that the new generation is pushing forward for a brighter tomorrow. I, along with my classmates, will show you an exhilarating day. We'll show you the promise of the new generation. And show you that we are all heroes. As he then he just says up into the sky, dazzle, as a bunch of little crackles happen in the skies that start glittering out, as the crowd was absolutely entranced, as Midnight just said, "You didn't have to go that far to bully the crowd." As Deku slides his mask back up, after saying it, and says, "Well, I want to show them, something they could never forget." As he walks down to the stand, and then he gets ready to go into the competitions. As Midnight draws the first competition, as he says, the first challenge is an obstacle race. Students must make their way from the designated area all the way back into the home field goal, which is this arena. All the classes will be allowed to use their quirks to allow themselves an advantage in the race. However, no foul play is permitted, and everybody must treat each other equally and fairly. As says, "Alright, now then, will the classrooms now head over to the starting point?" As everybody was ushered over to, the starting grounds. As everybody's getting ready and stretching, waiting, Deku and Bakugo were just talking to each other. as he says, well, how do you think you're gonna go? I'll be alright. After all, I got my explosions. Be a good way to get good way to get a head start, don't you think? Yeah. However, I don't think I'm exactly gonna be coming first place. Why'd you say that? Is it Ada or something? Oh no, not Ada. Not even Todoroki. It's you I'm worried about. Why me? Don't why me. You can literally say anything. You could say supersonic and you'll go to the other side. As he just gives Bucko a blank look. You didn't think of that, did you? What? No. I totally thought of that. Sometimes it astounds me that you are one of the smartest people I know, yet the dumbest. As he just, well, Deku just giggles, giggles a bit skittishly. As, well, President Mike is saying, alright, competitors, on your marks, get set, go! As Todoroki decides to get a bit of a head start, as he decides to freeze the ground around him, causing some people to be stuck in the ice. However, this didn't apply to most of Class 1A, as they were expecting Todoroki to do something just like this, and avoided the oncoming wave. And Deku just jumped up and ran, and just thought to himself, so what happens if I do what Barker said? As he looks at his legs and says, supersonic, as he jumps up once and creates a sonic boom behind him, as he goes flying uncontrollably, and is about to hit the wall of the arena, as he says, stop! And he stops in midair. People are just going, what the hell? And he's just hovering above the ground, and about 2 feet off of hitting the wall, which most certainly would have crumpled him. Says, oh god, I have to be careful. Thanks for the idea, Bucko. I nearly broke my neck. As Bucko, just seeing this, is laughing as loud as he possibly can. He can be heard from the other side of the field, surprisingly. And everybody's just like, what the hell? He rocketed off like a cannonball. And he releases the stop command as he just falls to the ground and lands on his feet. As he just walks through the field goal. As everybody's just saying, well, folks, with a surprise turn of events, Izuku Midoriya is the winner with a record of 30 seconds. As, well, everybody's jaws just dropped. He managed to clear the entire field, which was about over 2 kilometers long in about 30 seconds. For the American viewers, that's roughly just under a mile. And he's just sitting there waiting. He decided to his pull out his phone and start texting away. People just saying, "Is he alright? Is he just having fun with this?" As one of the people in the crowds were just discussing what he could be. Does he have like a cannonball type quirk? Because nobody knew that when he said supersonic, he actually rocketed himself, because they could not hear their speech. And everybody was left intrigued. And about 5 minutes later, Barker had come through the field goal as he says, yes, I beat the icy hot bastard. Oh god. As, well, Jackie just comes up to Barker and says, hey Barker. Hey, cheating bastard. Cheating? You told me how to win. I know, but Still doesn't help that you can just fly across the entire damn field in one go. Oh, yes, and I nearly broke my neck doing it. So thank you for that. Oh, I knew you wouldn't, but that was still hilarious to watch. Ugh. God, this doesn't make it any better. Ugh. Then, as the rest of the contestants are pouring through, as then the last person to arrive, finally made it, and then it goes on to the second round. As midnight draws, the second round is going to be a cavalry battle. You must be in a team of 4 as to qualify. As well, Deku had the 10 million point headband on his head, as a lot of people were gunning out for him and not wanting to be on his team. However, he did have a reliable friend that wasn't Bakugo, Setsuna. Setsuna, um, well, Setsuna was behind him as she basically covered. She dislocated her hands. Well, not dislocated, detached her hands from the wrists, and then covered his eyes as she stood in front of him and was like, "Guess who? I know it's you, Setsuna." And says, "Correct," as her hands fly back onto her wrists. As they just said, does that ever hurt? Not really, no. Do you feel it when they get damaged? I mean, I do, but they just heal anyway. Okay. So, do you want to be on your team? If you wouldn't mind. Everybody seems to be gunning it out for me. Well, okay. But we need 2 more members. As Tokiyami comes up and says, "I'll be on your team." And then, well, and then, let's just say May. May is on his team. Because fuck Uraraka. And so that team is now the sailing canon, except Uraraka is replaced by Setsuna, the best girl. And yeah, as the match starts and gets underway, as people automatically started, people automatically started trying to go for Deku, as he just pulled his mask down and just says, "Stay back," as everybody gets pushed to the side, as they were skidding along the ground, as there was at least about a 20-foot gap between all the teams around him. So just go, what the hell? Why do we just move like that? As then they tried to go back, as he just decided to say, "You know what, never mind." As he says, "Okay, you guys cover your ears." As when Tokiyami agrees and covers his ears using Dark Shadow, as Setsuna detaches one of her fingers and plugs her ears with them. As May just says, "Huh? What? Okay," and plugs her ears as well. As he just goes, "Alright then, scream, sleep!" As everybody in the entire radius, except for Bakugo's team, as he told them, "Shit, no, cover your ears." As everybody fell asleep. Even some of the audience members who were unfortunate enough to hear it. As, well, all the teams except Bakugo's and Deku's team were now incapacitated and asleep. As they were just going, "What the hell?" As Bakugo just says, don't try and attack him. There's no point. We can't win." As they say, "Right. For now, Sarah, just collect the headbands." and Mina, help us get over closer to him. As they just go around collecting the headbands, as Deku's team just sits there and stares still. As he just says, "It's getting kind of tiring down there, guys." Let's go. "Yeah, it's a little bit, I guess." Says, "Alright then." As he looks at all of them, well, he jumps up, looks at all of them, and says, "Float," while also looking at a part of himself, as they all start floating a bit, as he holds them together and says, "There we go, we can just stay like this." It says, "Is there anything your quirk can't do?" "Well, I guess heal me. I mean, it drains so much stamina that it's not worth it, so." Yeah, it's basically like the damage that I take from overusing a quirk outpaces the healing ability if I use it on myself. I see. For others, it doesn't really apply because I'm not using as much energy to heal myself. Oh, I see. As he just grabs out his bottle of he just grabs out his bottle of cough syrup and takes a swig. As everybody's starting to wake back up, however, they were missing all their headbands, as it's just Bakugo and Deku's team. Let's go, what the hell? How did that happen? As people from Class 1A, start thinking, shit, Deku must have used this quirk. As the time goes up, and seeing how the events played out the way they did, they decided to nominate two other teams that were eliminated to be a part of the fighting, which was the ones that had the cannon people. Because I'm not even gonna bother trying to remember who it is. That's too much work for not enough entertainment. Anyway, so the canon plays out the same, except instead of Uraka now, it's now Bakugo and Setsuna. So they're having their fight. As well, Bakugo's getting ready. It says, I'm not gonna go easy on my best friend's girlfriend, you know? I don't expect you to. After all, I can fight pretty good for what you think. Yeah, well, let's put that to the test, as he starts cracking his knuckles and starts warming up explosions in his hands. Come at me, explosion boy. He says, alright. As the match starts right then and there. As they start launching towards each other, as Bakugo throws an explosion towards Setsuna, as she cuts her torso in half, as she just flips over the explosions as her legs duck under and rejoin behind him, and she kicks him in the back. Oh, so close, but not quite. Come on. Is that the best you got? That was a cheap trick and you know it. I know, but this is a fight, so I fight to win. Alright then. You're just getting me fired up. As he starts launching more explosions, as Susuna's dodging the explosions by using her ability to float with her detached body parts. As she splits herself up and reconstructs herself. As Bakugo manages to explode a part of her arm, as it's now turned to ash, and it's like, jeez, explosion boy. If it wasn't for the fact that my quirk regenerates, I would have lost an arm. As the pieces of her arm stop regenerating and fall back together. She says, oh, this drains a lot of strength, but, see, you can't exactly harm me that easily. For a second there, I thought I might have to I have to apologize to my friend because he's only getting a one-handed girlfriend. It's not very fun, if you know what I mean. Aren't you cheeky? However, that stuff hasn't come yet. That waits until after I kick your ass and claim my prize. Oh, what's that? Oh, his little heart. You're quite different when you flinch, you know that. Has anybody told you? I get told that once or twice. But don't let that distract you, as she starts rushing at Bakugo, and right as she's about to punch him as he gets ready to react, her whole body disassembles and rearranges around him, as one leg kicks him in the shin, one fist punches him in the face and under the chin, as another one kicks him in the back of the head. It's just, damn it. You'll be quite good with this. However, it's time to stop playing around. As he backs up and as he jumps back and starts launching himself into the air. I'm sorry, but you might want to pull your parts back together, because you're going to need it. Oh? Come at me. As he starts building up into a twisting motion, using the explosions to propel himself forward. He says, I was saving this for the final, but, seeing as you're worthy. Howitzer! Impact! As the giant explosion starts raining down, as he starts laughing, so, I guess you can't dodge something that's too big. As he has a voice whispering in his ear, I wouldn't think about that too much. As he goes, what the? And immediately receives a kick to the face, launching himself to the side of the arena. Huh. You see, people don't tell you, but the inside of the vortex is usually where it's the weakest. And seeing how a normal person can't fit through there, yet I alone can. I was behind you the entire time. You're too busy spinning to notice that I was disassembling. There's one thing I gotta hand here. You're a lot smarter than you let on. Oh, well, thank you. But this is my victory, Explosion Boy. As Setsuna, flies a kick at him, he tries to block with his arms, as I wouldn't do that one. As her her leg detaches as it goes under where he blocked, as it kicks him right in the chin. He gets sent up as she punches him back in the arms back down. He starts going, god damn it, that hurts. I shouldn't have used that howitzer impact. My bones are at its limit. As it says, ready to give up, Explosion Boy? I've got one more left in me. Huh. Well, that's good. You at least made this fun for everybody to watch. Yeah, but not for you. As he charges up an explosion in his hand as he launches it towards Setsuna. She dodges it again and kicks him square out the arena. As the winner is declared. Setsuna is the winner. And people are quite shocked. Her quirk isn't that powerful. Yeah, the way she uses it is so smart. Cunning. As Deku is cheering and says, way to go, Setsuna! As Bakugo just says while it's still on his back, and he's like, idiot, you're supposed to be cheering for your friend! Oh, sorry. You both did good, though. Not helping. As then, the second round well, second round's about to start, as, well, I completely forgot about Shinso for a second, but Deku, has that whole confrontation with Shinso, as he try, as, well, let's just say he's not allowed to wear his mask, as it's more of a tool than, that is not allowed. So, he's required to take it off, as Shinso tries to get him to fall for his trap by taunting him, as he just says, sushi? Bonita flakes, tuna mayo, tuna. So what the hell are you saying? As, since Shinso, since he's not actually responding correctly, his quirk doesn't allow him to be controlled. Because if you don't know if you're not responding with an actual yes or verbal no, there is no need for him to be taken over. As he just says, Shinsei says, speak English or Japanese, whatever, just speak properly. As he just nods and says, there we go, now he's gonna fall for it. As he just says, blast. As Shinsei gets rocketed out the arena and slammed his back against the wall. As he starts coughing violently, as Deku just walks over and says, grabs his mask out of his pocket, puts it on, says, sorry, I can't speak properly because that happens whenever I say anything. So, yeah, your quirk doesn't exactly work on me. And how do you know what my quirk is? Oh, I said information, and it gave me all I needed to know about you. Quirk, your quirk is called brainwashing. If somebody responds to you from a verbal command, you can control their mind. Am I correct? Yeah, you're correct. It's just the fact that I don't speak properly kinda doesn't help. So, it was just a bad matchup for you, unfortunately. As, well, she decided to, well, Deku decided to give him a helping hand up and says, well, think positively. Everybody got to, well, even though you didn't get the opportunity you wanted to try and show off, people still know that you tried your best, even though, well, my quirk is a bit too good for its own good. What do you mean by that? Well, you think that having this much power would be good and you'd be treated to everything. However, it comes with a lot of downsides. Control. But being sure not to hurt anybody. Being called a villain. So, don't have to worry. There's everybody that's been through all walks of life. Even the people that seem the most high on a pedestal often have some dark secrets. As Deku just walks away, as Shinso was inspired by his words, and left with a smile on his face. As we come to one of the semi-final matches, as well, it's Setsuna versus Tokiyami and Deku versus Todoroki. I just say flat out, Setsuna just kicks Tokiyami's ass. And yeah, that's about it. So, the fight with Deku and Todoroki. As they decide to allow him to use his mask for this match. Because they have the teachers remove his amplifying ability from it. So it just uses a translation. And so he walks into this match as Todoroki says, today isn't going to play out like it did the other time. Sure, whatever you say. However, you'll still lose. even if it doesn't play out exactly the same. Last time was a fluke and you know it. As Todoroki says, I won't be caught off guard. Then the match begins as Deku says, scream. As a high-pitched frequency noise starts radiating out from Deku's voice, and Todoroki's forced to cover his ears as he starts screaming in pain, as he launches an ice wave to counteract it, as the ice wave is shattering. However, it was cancelling the noise out enough for Todoroki to gain his sense of balance properly. Ah, oh, God. What the hell? Come on. As Deku just says, fine. Let's see how this one works. Melt. As all the ice that Todoroki has conjured now melts into a giant puddle of water. Deku then says, Todoroki, look. No matter what you do or say against me, it never change the fact that I can counter anything you throw at me. I can melt your ice. I can shatter it. I can do whatever the hell I want. So if you think that using just your ice is going to even bring me a challenge, I'm saying this for you now. Man up and use your fire side. It's not Endeavor's quirk. It's not how that works at all. It's yours. Don't you forget it. Now kneel. As Todoroki was forced to kneel, unable to break his position as he starts erupting into flames and it's like, I will not bow down. Not to him and not to you. Good. Show me. As he releases Todoroki as he conjures a vast amount of flames and fires it at Deku as he just says, Gale Force. And, well, the extreme torrent of air bursting through the stadium and torrented his flames as, well, Deku just says, I'm being Todoroki, no matter what I was trying to say, I'm trying to get you to do your best. You know I can end it with just one word, right? Yeah, you keep lying to me all you want. You're never gonna change. You're not gonna tell me to give up. Says that's not what I was gonna say, but then he just says, sleep. As Todoroki falls unconscious, as midnight declares the winner. So, as he just walks out the arena and people carry him off, and he's sat out. As the finals come along to be, well, Setsuna versus Deku. As Setsuna decided to fight as he also she made a bet as she's as they were in the arena as they were getting ready to start fighting. She decides to say to Deku, "Let's make this a little fun. How are we gonna make this more fun? If you don't use, if you can beat me without using your words, I will. We can go on a date, and I promise you'll see something good." What's that promise? As she says to Midnight, "Can I just tell him something?" As okay. As she whispers into his ear, "You can see why I'm an E-cup." As his face just goes red, as he's trying to shake it off, as she starts giggling and goes back into her side and getting ready to fight. As Deku just says, and slaps his face and is like, don't let it distract you. But we gotta win. Now, with a bit more motivation. As he readies up a stance, as he says, Don't underestimate me because my power relies on my words. I also have a strong body as well. I know. I'd like to see it soon. Maybe without that shirt. As, he, as she flusters him more, as that was her plan all along, to get him flustered as she starts rushing at him as the match was called. Starts rushing at him, detaching her arms and limbs as she starts floating around and dispersing. As Deku was just trying to cover his angles. As she blocked as he blocked her arms, legs, kicks, and even a headbutt that she tried to launch against him. Says, "You're quite fast with your movements. However, how long can you keep this up? How long do you think you can keep defending yourself like this?" Deku just replied, well, let's see, if we're gonna play mind games, I would, let's just say, if I lose, I'll, I'll do whatever you say. As well, Sasano's just saying, well, that makes it more interesting. But you're gonna go down, whether you like it or not, so you just gave me an option that I can use against you. As they start, as she starts laughing and goes even harder towards Deku, as he he's still blocking her kicks and punches, though, flying from all around him, and is even managing to dodge all the ones that he can't see, as he seems to have a unnatural awareness. As well, he's dodging out the way and decides to end this as quick as possible. As he says, "I'm gonna cheat a bit," as he whispers a word to himself, "static." As he punches, as he throws a punch towards, I'd say Setsuna's solar plexus, as the one part she can't completely chop up is her torso, because that needs to stay into one stable piece. As he punches her right in the solar plexus, as a few of her limbs start freezing in midair. She's going, "What the hell? What did you do?" "I hit you in a spot that most people can't recover from easily. I basically sort of paralyzed your body. You can still feel the body parts, however you don't feel as much pain. Now if I inflict damage to a nerve cluster, your body's going to react weirdly." As he punches it again, as they start clenching up and flying everywhere else, as he says, "Well, since it's considered part of your body," he grabs the torso and throws it out the ring, uh, throws it forward and pushes it out of the ring, as he then chops it down as it hits the floor. And he's declared the winner, because technically she was out of bounds. So he says, "Well, I guess that means I beat you without a word." And Setsuna was a bit upset, however, she conceded her loss and the match was called as Izuku was declared the winner. And so on and so forth. And the day came after, Setsuna said, "So when are you going to claim that prize?" "Maybe after we go on our next date, okay?" She says, "Oh, well, make it soon. I don't know how long I can wait." Calm down, calm down. We're not in a hurry, are we?" "No, it's just, I like to tease you a bit, that's all." "Yeah, well, Bucko's right. You're definitely a bit more playful when you're fighting, aren't you? Just call it a quirk." "Yeah, I'll just call it a personality trait instead of a quirk." As they, well, decide to walk home together after they had received the medals and everybody packed up. And this is where I'm going to end What If Deku Was Toge and Inumaki Part 5. And I hope you, well, I hope you all enjoy this part. I'm sorry if I sound a bit more aloof today. I am very tired. Was fixing a car today, so I'm a bit tired having to clean it, polish it, and do all that. So, yeah, bit worn out. And yeah, other than that, I hope everybody has a good day, and hope everybody enjoyed this part, and have a good one, guys.